very dear friends. He's a peacock from India. His name is Maharaj. How are you today, Maharaj? Oh, he said he's very happy to be here with all of you. Now, as you might know, India has an ancient tradition of storytelling and literature. In fact, Barnes & Noble was so kind to order many special Indian classics, such as the Mahabharata, the Bhagavad Gita as it is, and also Panchatantra, which is a wonderful series of children's stories that were spoken originally by a famous saint to 3 princes about the importance of applying knowledge as opposed to learning. So we're going to do 2 puppet shows today. The first one is entitled The Lion and the Rabbit. Now the founder of our school, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, he brought a group of students to the zoo once. And when they were at the zoo, Srila Prabhupada asked them, what does it mean that a lion is in a cage? So we're going to tell this story and then we're going to ask you, what does it mean? Why is the lion in the cage? So Maharaj is reminding me, we usually sing a little song before we begin our puppet shows. So I'll sing it for you. It goes, we love kids. Yes, we do. We love kids the whole world through. Now bring a friend and lend an ear. Storytelling time is here. So once upon a time, long ago in the jungles of India, there lived a community of animals. And amongst those animals, there was a lion. What sound does a lion make, kids? Louder than that, isn't it? And this particular lion, he was very, very mean. In fact, he had this little song that he liked to sing. I'm so cool, I'm the king. It doesn't matter if I'm mean. And he thought he was really special. And he would go around the forest. And in the forest there are many other animals, like a chimpanzee. What kind of sound does a chimpanzee make? And there were rabbits in the forest also. What do rabbits do? They like to jump around, boink, 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 boink. And there was a huge snake that lived there also. What kind of sound does the snake make? Sound. Now what the lion used to do is he would go into the forest and without even caring if he was hungry or not, he would chase the animals and make them scared. And even he would bite the animals sometimes. And the monkeys and the rabbits and animals would run for their lives. But this lion was so mean that he would kill the animals. So many animals, even the animals he wasn't even going to eat. And so because of this, all of the animals started to hate the lion. And the lion didn't care. Remember that lion song? What was this song? I'm so cool. I'm the king. It doesn't matter if I'm mean. So the lion, he was hated by all of the animals. And the animals even gave him a name. What was that name?
Numbskull.
They named him Numbskull because he wouldn't think about anybody else. So the lion, he was killing indiscriminately all the animals. And finally, the animals got tired. But they didn't know what to do because the lion was so strong. So what happened then? There was the animals had a meeting amongst themselves, and they made a plan. They thought, well, at least some of us are old and some of us are sick. So let's make an agreement with the lion and let's send our old people and our sick people to the lion to eat. At least in this way, he won't be killing so many animals. So the animals all met amongst themselves, and then they came to the lion.
Mr. Lion, king of the forest.
I'm glad you understand my position. Now what do you want?
We have a compromise to make. Instead of you working so hard, each animal one day can come to your cave and you can eat them.
Oh, now you're talking my language. I don't have to work to eat. All right, I agree. But on a day when you send a small animal, that won't be enough for me to eat. So you can send me a bear, or you can send me a wild antelope. But on a day when there's a little rabbit like you, you have to send 4 rabbits, because one's not enough for me. Do you understand that?
Yes.
So the animals, they went back home, and each day a different animal would come to the cave of the lion, and their family would be crying and sad. And sometimes an old bear, or sometimes a deer or antelope would come, and then their family would just listen in the forest as they heard them screaming in the cave, "No!" And the lion would be there, and he would kill them and eat them. He was so mean. And yet he thought he was so cool. Remember his little song? I'm so cool. I'm the king. It doesn't matter if I'm mean. So the lion then, he started killing so many animals. And then on one day, the day when the rabbits were supposed to come, they were all in the forest. But instead of bouncing around and happy like they normally would be, they were very, very sad. And they were crying because they would never see one another ever again. And they were saying, "It was nice playing with you. It was nice to know you were my friend. I guess we'll never see one another ever again." So as they went through the forest, they came upon a huge well, a red brick well. And they thought, let us get a drink at the well. Maybe our last drink. And as the leader of the rabbits was drinking water, suddenly he had an idea. And he told his friends, "I just had a great idea. You guys can go home and play. You don't have to get killed by the lion today." And his friend said, "What? What do you mean? I can't believe this is true." And he said, No, don't worry. I've got a plan. You'll all be saved." And so the boys went home and they were laughing and playing, the other 3 rabbits. And then the one leader rabbit, he just went into the forest eating berries and just having a good time. And after a long, long time, he decided to go to the cave of the lion. So he came to the cave, and the lion was so hungry, it was so late for his lunch. And when the rabbit came, what kind of sound does the lion make, kids? But he was really hungry this time, so he was really angry too. And what kind of sound did he make? Oh, and he was so hungry. And he started to talk. Where were you? Where are the other rabbits? I can't stand having my lunch served late. What happened?
Mr. Lion, I've been running from this bigger lion. He said he's more powerful than you.
What? A bigger lion in my forest? I'm the king here. Nobody comes to my forest.
Anyways, I've been running and running, and I can show you where he is if you want.
Let's go. Thanks. You turned your. Okay, sure. All right, let's go there immediately. Show me where that lion is. I'll kill him right now. Nobody's the king in my forest. So they went through the forest, and finally the rabbit brought him to the well. He told the lion that the big lion lived inside of a cave. So he said, go ahead, look in the cave. You'll see that lion there. So the lion came up, and he knew that the lion wouldn't think. So he came up there and he looked in, and he saw his own reflection down in the water. Roar! There's that lion! And then he jumped. And he was never seen again. He fell in the well, and he was dead. So he fell into the well, and he died down there. And the rabbit was so happy, and he went back to all of his friends, the snake and the monkey and everybody, and told them what had happened. And they all lived happily ever after. So Srila Prabhupada, he told that his students, when they went to the zoo, he asked them, what does it mean that the lion is in the well? Can anybody answer? What does it mean? I'm sorry, that the lion is in a cage. Maybe our host today can answer the question. She's being very shy. Okay, the meaning behind this story is that even though the lion is much more powerful than a man, a lion can easily kill a man or a woman. But because men and women are more intelligent than the lion, they could catch the lion and put the lion in a cage. So the point of the story is that intelligence is greater than power. So that's the point, kids. We'd like to encourage you in your studies like that. The more knowledge you have, the better off your life will be. So please, parents, purchase some books while you're here at Barnes & Noble. And remember TKG Academy when you go up to the cashier down there. Thank you very much. So here's Maharaj again. We'd like to introduce another story. Actually, these two stories that we're doing the puppet shows from are coming from one of the books that Barnes & Noble has here, known as the Panchatantra. And this book is over 1,000 years old. Was released originally, it was done for a group of princes in India over 1,000 years ago, and it's been very nicely translated. There's over 100 different short stories for kids, educational stories, beautiful stories like that. So these puppet shows have been adapted from that book, the Panchatantra. So the next story that we're going to do, it's a very interesting and beautiful story. It's known as the Ungrateful Man. Do you kids know what that means, to be ungrateful? Yes? Go ahead, Nita. Not be what? Appreciative. Wow. Yeah, that's exactly right. Ungrateful. To be ungrateful, not to say thank you, and not to be appreciative, and not to reciprocate with others. Yes, French. And to not be nice. That's right. Yes? Yes, when you receive something and not appreciate it. Yeah, that's exactly right. So in our story today, this story deals with a Brahmin who is a teacher. And he lived with his wife and children in a village. Now this Brahmin, or teacher, he was very poor because he wasn't so interested in the material life. He studied many stories from the Vedic literature and learned that our actual home is in the spiritual world and that this life is just temporary. So because of that, his family was poor. And as you may have even seen, sometimes it creates tension amongst family members. And because of that, his wife began to complain. And each day, as she complained, even though the man tried his best around the house to do things, to get money, he wasn't being very successful. And so his wife finally told him, you have to go out and find some fortune for our family. We can't live like this anymore. And so the Brahmin went out on a journey to find a good job. He began to apply for jobs. No. In those days, actually, things were done more on a personal level. And he began to talk with friends and family members, but the economy wasn't so good. Because of that, he was left and he didn't know what to do. So he was going from village to village to village to village, looking for a job, looking for some employment. But everyone would say, no, I'm sorry, my dear Brahmin. There's nothing you can do here. So he didn't know what to do. So he began to pray and he began to walk home thinking, oh no, my kids and my wife are going to be so disappointed. And while he was walking back through the forest, he came to a well. So he thought, let me get a drink in the well. But when he looked down at the well, he didn't see any water, but instead he saw a monkey, a snake, a tiger, and a man. And they all started to call out, help me, help me.
Help me.
And each one of them was begging, don't worry, I won't hurt you. The tiger said, don't worry, I won't bite you. Please help us out of here. We're very hungry and thirsty and we're going to die down here unless you save us. And the lion and the monkey. And the man too said, help me, help me. So the Brahmin, he got a long piece of bamboo and he put the bamboo down into the well. And one by one, he began to bring them out. So the monkey came stamping, scampering out. Up, 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 up. Then the snake. Come on, snake. And then the tiger. That big tiger came up. And then finally, the man came out. So as they came out one by one, the monkey said, oh, my dear sir, you were so kind. Thank you for saving us. I know you were probably scared of us, and especially scared of the big tiger. But it was so nice of you to save us from the well. I live over in the jungle on the eastern side. If you ever need my help, come there. And there are many wonderful fruits that grow in the trees. If you come to see me, I'll give you so many fruits for you and your family. So the The Brahmin said, thank you very much, that's so kind. And the monkey went scampering and jumping back into the tree, back to his family. He was so happy. Well, then the snake came and said, shh, don't be afraid of me, I won't bite you. I live in a cave nearby here, in the wall of the cave. If you ever need me, just think about me, and I'll come to help you. So the Brahmin said, thank you, that's so kind of you. And the snake went home. The tiger also, he growled, roar, but he was so happy. And he began to jump, and he began to lick the man. Such a nice tiger. See, that's how you get a tiger for a pet. See? And the tiger then, he went home, but he told the man, if you ever need my help, just come to where I live in the forest and I will help you. But then, when the man came out, the man was so angry. And what did the man say? He told the Brahmin, why did you take me out last? I'm a man just like you. Why did you save the animals instead of me first? Those animals could have bit you. And you brought me out last. I'm so embarrassed, and it was so mean of you to do that. Anyway, I live over nearby the king's palace, and I'm a jeweler there. If you ever need me, come to my jewelry shop. And that ungrateful man went away. He was angry and just scorned the Brahmin. So the Brahmin was going back home, and then he came to the place in the forest on his way home where the monkey lives. And the monkey was so happy, and the monkey was jumping up and down, and the monkey went into the trees, and he collected so many wonderful fruits for the Brahmin. So many, the Brahmin couldn't even carry them. There were mangoes, there were bananas, there were, what other kind of fruits grow in the forest? Apples? No. Possums? Yes. There were custard apples, grapes, maybe. What? Tangerines? So the Brahmin took all of those fruits, and he was so happy, and he ate a big feast of fruits, and he went on his way. Thanks, that was really nice of you, Mr. Monkey. So then he went farther into the forest, and he came to the home of the tiger. And the tiger was there. What kind of sound does the tiger make? Now the tiger, he was so friendly and nice to the Brahmin. Normally he would have bit him, but because he saved him, he was very friendly and nice. But the Brahmin was so poor. So the tiger, he knew that. So what did the tiger do? The tiger had actually killed a prince in the forest, and he had all the jewels from the prince, and he gave the jewels to the Brahmin. And the Brahmin was, now suddenly the Brahmin was very rich from all the jewels from the tiger. Wow, so now the Brahmin, he had all this fruit, and he had all of these jewels. Wait, the tiger's getting the jewels from the cave. Oh, there they are. Wow, I'm rich. I've got all the jewels now. So the Brahmin thought, okay, now I can go home. I'm rich. So he put the jewels into his pocket, and he went on his way. But he was thinking, what will I do with all of these jewels? Maybe I should go see the man from the jewelry shop. So he went to the jewelry shop, and there was the ungrateful man. So the Brahmin asked him, look it, I found all these jewels in the forest. There was a tiger. Remember, he came out of the well? He gave me the jewels. Can you help me? So the ungrateful man looked at the jewels, And he actually recognized those jewels.
These are the prince's jewels. You killed him.
I didn't kill him. A tiger gave me the jewels.
Don't try to lie.
So the ungrateful man, he went running to the palace of the king. And he showed the king the jewels. And the king immediately came with his soldiers. And they arrested the Brahmin. But I didn't do anything, king. I didn't do anything. So the king's soldiers put the Brahmin into jail, and he was in jail. Oh no, now what am I going to do? I was rich just a few minutes ago. So the Brahmin was in jail, and he was very sad. He didn't know what to do, and the king was so angry, and everything he had been taken away. And then the Brahmin remembered the snake. So he thought about the snake, and the snake came to him in the cell. The snake asked him, "Is there anything I can do for you?" So the Brahmin explained everything that just happened to the snake. And the snake said, "Don't worry, I will go to the queen and I'll bite her. And when the queen falls unconscious from my poison, then at that time, you can tell the soldiers in the prison, you can tell the soldiers in the prison that if you touch the queen, she will be well again." So the Brahmin called out. Oh, go ahead. So the snake went to the bedroom of the queen. And when the queen was there, she was lying down on her bed, and the snake came, and then suddenly the snake bit her. And the queen screamed, and everyone in the palace went running, and the snake disappeared very quickly. He went away. So no one knew how to help the queen. She had gone into a coma, and the king was so sad. He was crying, and he called for all of the ministers and the doctors, but no one could treat him. And then, at that time, the Brahmin in prison called out, "Soldiers, soldiers, if you bring me to the queen, I can save her. I can save her. Believe what I say is true." So he went there, and he saw the queen lying unconscious on her bed. And the king was crying. And the king told the Brahmin that if you can bring my wife back to life, I'll give you 1,000 villages. I'll give you all the riches that you need for your life. So the Brahmin touched the queen. "Queen, are you there?" And suddenly the queen, she got up and she was okay again. And everybody was happy. Yay! Look at that queen. So then the king, he gave the Brahmin 1,000 villages and made him a very, very rich man. And the Brahmin, he told the king what had happened, how he was going home without any money, how he found the well, how he saw the snake, the monkey, the tiger, and the ungrateful man, and what had happened in the forest, and how the ungrateful man had told a lie that he had killed the prince. So the king immediately sent his soldiers. They arrested the ungrateful man. They put the ungrateful man in prison, and the Brahmin went to his home and got his wife and kids and lived happily ever after. So that's one of the stories from the Panchatantra. So thank you very much, everyone. So these stories are available in these beautiful books, courtesy of our Community Relations Department here at Barnes & Noble, and that's Miss Nikki. Yeah, courtesy of our very kind host this afternoon, Miss Nikki. And these books are available. Remember, anything that you buy here in the store today, if you mention TKG Academy on our voucher, then 15 to 30% of that sale goes to TKG Academy. So thank you very much, everyone. And with no further ado, I'm going to turn this microphone and stage over to some wonderful performers that we have for you today. Thank you. Oh, and here's the book right here. Yeah, the Panchatantra, 5 Wise Lessons, India's famous collection of fables.